Hey guys, how you doing? And welcome in for another Suzerain character painting stream. So this week we're going to be working on this lady, who is a femme fatale. And my entire setup is offset today. Sorry about this, guys. There we go. Right, there we go. Right, I was terrorised by my small ones. My choice, but it was funny. So how are folks? And what are you guys up to? Right. So, this lady is a bit of a dark, I say dark spirit. She's a bit of a dark spirit from the noir setting of Suzerain. Who will inevitably be dressed in red. So I'm painting more red. And she sort of sucks the colour from her surroundings. So we're going to go with some sort of black and white texture around. We've added a little bit here in the basing materials. This was partly to get her to stick on to the base, but it also adds a bit of extra texture. This is actually mud and snow that I've got on the base around her base structure. I'm just going to squidge that on a bit more so it's hanging off the base a little less. It's sort of surface dry. It should be fully dry in not too long. But I did that before so that way she would actually stay on the base. She was being a bit stubborn. So I'm going to start with some deep red. I found that this is one of my best recipes for painting red. So deep red as the base colour, pure brown in the shadows, and pure red as the highlights. And it works really, really well. This is my little pot of pure red that I've had around for ages. I keep forgetting that I've got it and using the big pot, and I keep meaning to use that little one up. Yep. But I found that it works really, really well for painting all sorts of reds. I have some very good examples around. Hang on. So this is that mix. Deep red, pure brown in the shadows, and pure red highlights. You see it works really, really well. My efforts at freehand. Needs tidying up. So that's what we're going to do on her. So we'll start with the deep red. Which we'll just paint over the whole base. The whole dress even, not the base. As the base colour. And we're going to make her base black and white. I'm hoping that my paper will have dried by the time I get to that. We'll give her a nice warm skin tone as well. As she's in red, we're going to contrast her dress with a fair skin tone. Or, I say fair. We're going to use warm flesh. It's not that fair. But it is a deep red. It's a really nice red. and on the front. Do a little more work here. I might have to go with a slightly smaller brush. Oh. Right. So we'll get this base colour on her dress. I think we're going to need to do the skin tone first. My hand is not as steady this evening as I would like. It just happens. You don't have to have a super steady hand to paint minis. There are ways around it. There we go. Get under there as well. So that's a good first layer of the dress. Just touching up a couple of areas. I can get under here as well. So she's going to be quite a simple paint up. It's kind of tempting to put some more detail on her dress, a bit of freehand or something, but we'll see. I might keep her simple. Although she doesn't really have any deep folds in her dress, so I also might not do the pure brown in the recesses on this one. Her dress is quite smooth. So when you have large smooth areas like this, you've really got to focus on where you want your highlights. You often have to go quite high with them to give the dress shape. So I am starting with the deepest tones. So personal preference with how I work. You don't have to do this. You could start with the highlights and or the highest tones and build in shadows if you prefer. You can also start with mid-tones and go both ways. So this is, in this case, I'm going to go with this being the shadow, because I don't think there's room for the pure brown. Okay. So I'm just going to pull this away from her shoe, like this. It does also give it some texture. It takes a while to dry. Hello. She's already got something of a red dress. I'm going to give her red shoes as well. I mean, obviously she's stylish enough to have matching shoes. And how are you doing today? Mm. But I do also have some more minis that I need to get cleaned up and prepped for Saturdays. But she's coming along already. Alright, already. I do have another one ready. But I do need to put in a bunch of time. Clean up and prep some minis. Or print some. That's another thing I could do. Oh. Yeah, wildfire smoke. Damn. I mean, I'm glad you're not in the area, but that stuff carries far as well. I'm glad you're okay, though. I've just been sneezing, so obviously my face is trying to work out whether or not it wants to leak. But otherwise, I'm okay. The boys are sick. They've had colds. So, not been having a lot of sleep lately. Yeah. Just give me a second. I'm just going to mute the microphone a moment. That feels better. Sorry, I thought I'd spare you the sounds of me making my face leak less. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a cold. I mean, for one thing, the kids have got it and we haven't, so it's one of those things. But yeah, they're a bit cranky. Mostly just complaining and runny noses. It's what happens when you get fresh air. You get a cold. Right, I'm going to do some skin tones. I'm going to go with some dark peach. Yeah. Yeah. It's supposed to be healthy, yep. But yeah, they're doing fine, really. They're pretty happy. They joined me on stream for about 15 minutes yesterday and said hello to everyone. And then nicked all my miniatures. Tried to steal my good paintbrushes, as they do. That was fun. Victor was incredibly distracted and had zero interest in anything other than what was on my desk. Byron, on the other hand, was saying hello to everyone and trying to chat. I was co-streaming with someone, so I was on voice chat with someone as well. So that was funny. Yeah, absolutely. Also, if it's Mum's, it's actually mine. If you're holding it, it's mine. Did you look at that thing, Mum? It's mine now. Kids are great. Cheeky, but great. But yeah, the youngest tends to be quite chatty with people. 1, if I want it, it's mine. 2, if it's in my hand, it's mine. 3, if I can take it away from you, it's mine. 4, if I had it a little while ago, it's mine. 5, if it's mine, it must never appear to be yours in any way. If we're building something together, all the pieces are mine. Yes, that one is absolutely true. If it looks like mine, it's mine. If I think it's mine, it's mine. If I give it to you and change my mind later, it's mine. Yep. Once it's mine, it will never belong to anyone else, no matter what. Pretty much, yeah. There's probably a few more scenarios as well. Basically, just everything is theirs. End of story. Don't even know it exists. It's still mine. But yeah, yesterday was not yesterday, Thursday was fun. Well, yesterday was kind of fun too. Thursday was fun. I was sat playing Batman. Arkham Asylum. They were sat next to me watching, going, Batman, it's Batman, it's Batman. Like, yep, it's still Batman. Yes. Except vegetables. Ugh. Byron's like, get your disgusting green things away from me. I don't want nothing to do with your green things. Oh, is that a green jelly baby? I'll have that. No, no, Mum, that's the wrong kind of green. Get it away. What's this? It's a carrot, Byron. It's kind of sweet. You might like it. Let me give you those squinty eyes. They're on to you. They know. Ugh. It's terrible. They just know. Tomatoes are kind of sweet too. They're also a fruit. Peppers are a fruit. Nope. Parents are supposed to get kids to eat anything. It's ridiculous. I find it amazing that they're always capable of recognizing things with sugar in, though. Oh, here's something you've never seen before that happens to have sugar in and is very sweet and delicious. Oh, you actually want to try this. But you won't try the tomato. Yep. Sugar sense. Yes. Yeah, I think you're right. Right. Some pure red. which is insisting on flowing straight into the sponge. Joy. It's one of those days. I'll just lay that in there. Building up some reds. Like that. What I can do, I'm going to come back to the front and lay that in there, a bit heavier. So like that, like that. We can get some deep red, put that in the middle. Can wet blend that in place, like that. So we get a nice smooth blend. Do it again just to build up the layer a little bit more. Get some in there. And bring some of that pure red back in to there. There we go. Some more deep red in there. Just wet blend up around there as well. So there's a bit of a shadow under our hand. A bit more deep red in there. Just giving us nice smooth blends. So we can get plenty of red in there. We want it round here. This will be bright red here. So it provides a line. We can maybe get a bit of pure brown in under there. Increase the shadow some more. Get a really thin layer of red, pure red. Lightly put that in there to soften that shadow a little bit more. And bring this highlight up a bit more with some more pure red. We're getting it on the legs by accident. It's fine. So can get some more flesh tone in there. Fix that. I need a little bit more deep red out and some more pure red because it's all run into my wet palette, so I need to move it. So I'll do another drop of deep red and a drop of pure red. I'll put it somewhere else this time. So there was probably a droplet of water on my palette surface, which has caused it to run. And it's all run into the edge of my wet palette. It's not really a problem, it just means that I don't have as much as I could do with. Okay, so around the back. So this pure brown is really good for shading reds. Get some pure red in there. I'll get a little bit of deep red just back in there. So I'm brushing up as best I can here, so that we get more of the deep red lower down. Get a little bit of pure brown in under there. Like that. You can get some really nice highlighting like this. So the nice thing about this highlighting is that it means that she's still very, very colourful. We're not desaturating. So we're not making the dress, the highlights lighter with white, which would desaturate the colouring. That's how come you end up with pink. So pink is desaturated red. A little bit more red on there. How much do I use washers and dry brushes? And I think they're overused by mini painters. I use wash. It depends on the texture. So for something heavily textured like fur or feathers, I will use a lot of washing and dry brushing because it's quicker. I don't think they're particularly overused. They're just more tools in the toolbox, really. Everybody paints in different styles. At the end of the day, if it works for you, use it. I don't dry brush that much because a lot of the time I don't like how it looks, but that's a personal preference. But I do use washers. So I might use a wash on her hair because it's quite heavily textured. But her dress isn't really, you can't really put a wash on that. It won't do much because it doesn't have the recesses to sink into. You can also get some nice tinting effects with the right kind of washing. Somewhere between a wash and a glaze. Pop a bit of brown in there. Well, I have seen a bunch of some really nice results from doing a base coat, a dry brush, and then a wash in that order. So by doing it that way, the wash provides a tint to the dry brushing, so it looks a little less, what's the word? Odd. It's a nice way of getting some really fast results. But the more textured the miniature, the more mileage you'll get from that kind of technique. So we'll do a hair like this. Well, a hat even. She's got a hat on. And then we'll do a hair. Trying to think what kind of hair colour would be ideal. But I would say I use a wash on pretty much every mini I paint at some point. I don't use dry brushes as much. So I'll probably put a wash on her skin as well. It'll help pick out the features on her face. I might not bother with her arms and legs much because there's not a lot to wash. So we'll get around the shoes. So we're keeping the red at the top, the bright red at the top. They're very bright red shoes. So that's just one coat of pure red. So we can add in more. So we'll really bring up the brightness on these shoes. There we go. So now the shoes match the dress. So we need another coat of red on the hat. And we'll make the hat match the dress and shoes. There we go. So now the hat, dress and shoes all match. We'll get some white, and I will add a little white trim to the edge of the dress sleeves. I might also stip on a little bit of white onto the shoes to make them look a little shiny. There we go. She absolutely has. She looks great. She's all of the matching outfit as well. Just get a little bit more down there. It's not as smooth as I'd like. Just going to focus a bit more red into some of these highlights. There we go. Let's just bringing some of these up a bit more. To make the dress redder. Feather out that line a little bit there before it dries. Oh, it's already dried a little too much, so I can just add a little bit more in. Feather that out a touch. There we go. Bring some more red down here as well. There we go. Just get a touch on there. There we go. That dress is looking pretty sweet. We'll grab some of this pure white. Just gently bring that into the toes. To give that little bit of reflection. So the light's just catching the tip of her toes. The toes of these shoes. Bring it down a little bit more. There we go. Doesn't always take a lot to get the right effect. We'll get some. So I think we'll go with fairly blonde hair. I think I need a new bottle of this. Yeah. So I'm going to use pure oxide yellow for the base colour of her hair. Like this. Get around there. Just trying to be careful not to get it on the dress. So one of the upsides of not mixing colours is that it's really easy to fix any mistakes you make. Although therein lies the benefit of a wet palette. Your paint will stay wet for longer. So that means that if you do make mistakes during a painting session, it's easier to fix. Because the odds are you've already got your mixed colours still on your palette. Genius. Just get that in there. Okay. I'm going to get some deep red just along the front of this. think she's pretty much wearing a fascinator because it's not even big enough to be a hat. So she's just wearing, she's got a fascinator on. I think that's quite femme fatale. Which incidentally is the name of the miniature. That's what Reaper Minis have called her. Femme fatale. That in there. I wonder if my oh, the paper has dried. That's going to be fun. Okay, I want to do some highlighting, so I'm going to need my brushes. So we'll get some pure white. Actually, I might just use that there. So I'm going to mix a bit of dark peach in with some pure white to get a highlight. Basically just a brush load into a drop of pure white, and I can start highlighting the skin. If she'll stay on the thing, that'd be great. Hang on, she's coming off the putty, and the paste is still squidgy. Right, so we'll get some in here. So I'm just going to layer this on at first, like this. You can get some great painting with just layering. You don't have to wet blend or glaze or anything like that. You can just layer your colours and you can get some really nice effects. Some really nice looking minis. Alright, you take care. Thank you very much for coming in. It's been good to chat. I've got to finish highlighting her face before I can paint in her eyebrows. Get some highlight there. Just on her neck as well. We'll highlight the fronts of her legs. Double highlight as a scar. I'm not sure what caused that. Looks like a scalpel wound on the mini. So we'll get some around here as well. Like that. So her face is getting a little more detail now, just from a little bit of highlighting. It's got a bit more shape and definition. Focus a little bit more there, get across that lip. I do that, So that way the overgord's not distracting too much. We've still got some of the dark peach as well, so I can pick up some of that. Just gently drop that in there. Okay. I've got some really thin, pure brown here. Just have a look. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use some of this to apply a gentle wash to her face. It looks a little heavy. I'm going to take it away. So just like this. It's just going to provide a little bit of extra depth to some of her features. There we go. We'll do another coat on her hair. It's pure oxide yellow. Very good base for doing blonde hair. Do this. There we are. Oh, I think. I'm going to drop some pure brown into her eyes. There we go. So it is creating an edge around her eyes. So we're getting some nice shadow there. We'll get some shadow underneath the dress. Around the tops of her legs as well with the pure brown. Hey Megan, how you doing? I need to make a meep emote. Meep meep. I'm pretty good. My painting station survived the terrible 2 out of 3 of the Lost Boys. It's impressive that it survived. My little snowy owlbear cub got yellowed a bit. Look at that. It got yellowed. I'm kind of sad. He looks like he's got mold spores on him. Yep. I'll fix it later. I'll glaze over it with some white and touch up. Everything else survived. The little one was trying to paint everything with water, so... And then minis, it's just paint. Give him a base with something that has OSL. Yeah. Yeah, that could work. But yeah, the little one was painting everything with water. The littlest. I mean, they're both quite small, so... I'm like, yeah, I'm going to paint this mini. Yeah, you're just washing it. I'm fine with that. It works. Cheeky little sausages. Hey, Static Overdrive. Saturday's been pretty good. It's 9 here. You have the same dress. I bet you do. Do you have the matching hat and shoes, though? That's what you need. Matching hat and shoes. We actually had sunny weather here today. We went out for a walk. My kids thought it were great. Was absolutely brilliant. They got to pick up sticks. At the same time. A beanie with a cap over the top. You are so doing that now. Started something.